Hello, Kettering College, and welcome to this week's Tuesday Talk. My name is Ben Hotelling, and I am the Associate Dean of Students here. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Tiffany Thompson. Tiffany is the Director of Nursing at Soin Medical Center and Greene Memorial Hospital. She is an alumna of Kettering College in the class of 2011 and is one of the biggest cheerleaders for Kettering College I know. Tiffany, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy life to be here with us today. I want to give you some time to introduce yourself, tell us a quick summary of your journey into nursing, and what about nursing makes you get up every morning with a smile on your face?
Well, I'm pretty sure I don't have time to get into all of my story here today. But to make it very short, my husband and I married when we were just babies. Because of that decision, we faced a whole lot of financial struggles, and going to college just wasn't an option for me. I was very fortunate to land an entry-level position at a global corporation based in the Dayton area, and I spent a decade there working my way up into some really, really great positions. I made a good income. I was happy there. I loved the people. It was a great company. Until all of a sudden, I wasn't happy anymore. I wasn't content. God started working in my heart, and I became under deep conviction that I was not spending my life doing what He had created me to do. I was overwhelmingly compared to become a nurse. It was the only thing that I had peace about. I didn't know how it would happen. I didn't know how we could afford to do it, but I knew that that's what God wanted for me to do with my life. So at 37 years old, I resigned from my corporate position and applied to Kettering College. I never dreamed I'd be accepted, but I was immediately accepted. I began nursing school and never looked back. God has truly ordained my path, and He has guided me every step of the way. I honestly wake up every single morning with deep peace and confidence that I'm living God's will for my life. There's no greater joy than that. My job is my ministry, and because of that, I look forward to going to the hospital every single day.
I'm so glad we are talking about this concept of coming in every day with a smile on your face. I think it goes past the idea of work life balance. Typically, that's more of a conversation about does your work allow for time with people you love outside of work, your hobbies, travel, or developing new skills. I think what we're talking about here today is how do we cope with life world and not let that come into our work world?
So I'm not convinced that we caregivers can fully separate work and life outside of work. Who we are and how we're made is so intertwined with the sacred work that we do. I think it's all about perspective. God hand delivers His most broken and hurting children to us every single day. It's quite humbling when I think about it, that He has so much trust in me. We have to look at each day as an amazing opportunity to serve God, and we do that by caring for His children. When we can approach our work with faith, give it all we have while we're there, we can be fully present while at work, and we can leave at the end of the shift knowing that we did our very best and trust God to handle the rest. Doing our best is all He asks from us. We cannot fix everything. We certainly can't make sense of much of the trauma and the suffering that we witness. But through faith, we can know that what we do is enough, and that can allow us to go home with peace at the end of the day.
I think you can relate to so many of our students. Our average age of student is close to 28 years old. We have a lot of career changers and students who have families and students who know healthcare is their calling. What are some things that you want to share with them today?
Well, I'm sure many of them can say becoming a nurse is the very best decision they ever made, just like I can. As an older student, I truly believe that my life experience prior to nursing has informed and helped shape my practice as a professional nurse and now as a nurse leader. When I left my corporate job and I finally became a licensed nurse, I remember asking God why I'd spent all those years in a career that wasn't meant for me. I felt like I'd wasted a lot of time. However, it wasn't too long before He opened the doors into nursing leadership for me, and I quickly realized that all of those years I spent in my previous work had actually prepared me for leadership. I learned skills there that I would never have learned at the bedside. My advice for those career changers and older students is to not question the past. Don't regret not doing things sooner. Just like with me, God has a plan for everyone. And if we allow Him to, He will use our past to bring us fully into the future that He has prepared for us.
So today we have touched on your story. We discussed briefly how we put our game face on when we come into work, and we touched on how we can use our skills and education to transform our patients and our community's lives. I want to ask one more question. What drew you to Kettering College, and why should students be excited about Kettering College? And also, as a director, how do you think having Kettering College on your resume helps you land your dream job?
Let me start by saying I didn't know anything about Kettering College, but when I felt called to become a nurse and I decided to go to nursing school, Kettering College was the only school I had peace about. I didn't even apply to any other programs because I was so sure that this is where God wanted me to be. And I was willing to wait as long as it took to get into the program. I really think Kettering is special because the philosophy of whole person care is so central to the curriculum. Kettering College teaches the students to care for not only the physical body and physical health, but also for the psychological and spiritual health of our patients. This sets Kettering College apart from other programs. When I have employees who are current students or graduates of Kettering College, I know I have confidence that they have been shaped by Kettering Health's mission, vision, and values, and that they've been trained to care for the whole person. I know that they are equipped to be excellent caregivers, both competent and compassionate, and I can trust that they will fit well into our call to care culture. We have a unique opportunity as a network to seamlessly transition these graduates into their professional careers. I'm a huge advocate for bringing those KC grads into our network.
I want to thank each of you for participating in this week's Tuesday Talks. A big shout out to Tiffany Thompson for taking the time to sit down and share her story and passions with us. Don't forget to tune into our next Tuesday Talk.